Howdy folks, greetings from Anthony Lake Recreation Area in eastern Oregon, where I am hiking along, as you can see, and being accosted by angry mosquitoes at the same time, so kind of keep moving here. The sun went behind the clouds there, or rather the clouds covered up the sun, and so I think that's encouraging the mosquitoes to come out a little bit. Give a quick little pan of the pretty scenery here. So I'm in far eastern Oregon between La Grande and Baker City on Interstate 84. La Grande is where my brother lives, and so that's why I'm here, is I'm visiting my brother. Just thought I'd give a quick little recap of my travels the past couple of weeks. So anyone who has been subscribed to my channel will know that I just finished up an amazing 7-month journey in Asia, and flew back from Bali end of June because I wanted to go to the rainbow gathering in Utah. A friend of mine was doing a kitchen there, and I wanted to help him out and also just experience the gathering. It had been 6 years since my last rainbow gathering. They're a lot of fun and a pretty powerful experience, hanging out in the woods with a lot of interesting people and pretty strange characters and whatnot. So it's a fun place just to kind of let loose and do something a little different, get away from the mainstream culture and everything. And so I flew back from Bali, went up north and visited my mom in Northern California for a few days, visited some old friends of mine, and then headed down to San Francisco, caught a ride with someone via Craigslist who was headed to the gathering. She had never been to a rainbow gathering before, and so we drove out there together and hung out a bit at the gathering, but I ended up moving down to my friend Jeffrey's camp and staying there. All right, pretty lake. I believe this is Hoffer. Yeah, these are the Hoffer Lakes. There's another one over there, so I'll head over in that direction. Man, spectacular. Oh, fish just jumped there, I guess. Yep, some little ones. I'm hoping to find a trail heading up that way. I don't have a map. My brother didn't have any maps of this area, so just figured I'd wing it. And looks like you can't really get too lost here as long as you're paying basic attention. So anyway, so I came back out from the rainbow gathering, got a ride with that same woman that had given me a ride from San Francisco to the gathering, but she was headed back to San Francisco, and I was going to eastern Oregon here to visit my brother. Hadn't seen them since last fall, and also he has some a project in his backyard, some work for me, so I'm hanging out there for the next few weeks. So I got a ride with this lady to the nearest town of the rainbow gathering, and then that was in Utah. Hi there.
Hi.
How's it going?
Great.
All right, some pretty little streams here with amazingly clear water. The bugs are bad though, man. All right, so then I was now in that nearest town in northern Utah, and I then had to get myself from there all the way up through Utah and across Idaho into eastern Oregon. So that ended up being kind of a intense 2 days of hitchhiking. I got to northern Utah, further north in Utah the first day, stayed in a hotel for the night, got up the next morning, started hitching, and things worked out pretty good actually. I got 5 rides in the course of the day, made it into eastern Oregon to Ontario, but that was about an hour and a half short of where my brother lives, and I didn't get any rides there that evening, or the rest of that evening, and so I ended up staying in another hotel for the night. Found a real cheap one for $50. The owner of the hotel was from India, which was pretty cool. I go into the reception area, and there's a big picture of the Taj Mahal behind her, And so I told her, oh, I've been there 3 times. And it turned out she was from the Punjab area of India. So anyway, stayed there for the night, and then my brother picked me up the next morning, drove down and got me to save me from another day of standing on the freeway waiting for rides. So that was my first hitchhiking adventure in about 12 years, other than when I was living in Hawaii a couple of years ago, where it's easy to hitch around. But so that was pretty cool, just to have a successful hitchhiking adventure. So that pretty much brings things up to date. There's a lot of moisture over there, pretty marshy looking, so I'm looking for a way to get around this lake here if I can. So here I am, and I'll be at my brother's for the next couple of weeks, most likely. My mom and stepdad are actually heading up here for a visit in a couple of weeks, as well as my mom's sister and her friend. And so I'll probably be seeing them here. And so my future plans are definitely a bit up in the air at the moment, but I am considering a job offer back in Jasper National Park, which is where I was working last year for 8 months, where I saved up for my trip to Asia. They have a 3-month contract, another night audit, front desk night position, the same thing that I did last time, but at a different location outside of town. So it would be a little different experience, about 5 miles outside of the town by this pretty lake, Pyramid Lake. So I'm going to be hearing back from them in the next week and then consider whether to take that. If they don't offer me that job, or if I decide not to take it, things are really up in the air. I might head back to Northern California and work for a friend there, considering maybe going back to Hawaii, sort of vaguely pondering the concept of hitchhiking to Alaska. One way or another, I need to make some money because I'm pretty close to flat broke at this point. So there we go. Not quite sure, but I'm feeling good about things. Something's gonna work out here. And in the meantime, I'm enjoying exploring these pretty woods and hanging out with my brother and his wife and their 2-year-old son. Nice to reconnect with them and have a little more time to spend with them. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking to the camera here and figure out where I am and how to get up these hills. All right, take care.